Welcome to Exquisite Nation. Good morning, everyone. Maddie Q here with your June 8th morning motivation. Have my coffee here. Ready to have a better day than yesterday. I really feel like that is the ultimate goal, be better than you were yesterday. We have to get into a kind of mode where we're like competing with not just the version of yourself that you were yesterday, but sometimes you need to compete with the version of you that you envision yourself being a few months down the line or a few years down the line. You have to see the potential and then try to beat that potential, if that makes any sense. We're always growing, and it's pretty much change and growth is a fact of life. It will always be. You will never be the same person that you were yesterday. You're always going to slightly change. Sometimes you'll drastically change, but there will always be a slight change. Now, the thing is, if you're not putting in the effort to make sure that change is in a positive direction, then a lot of times it will be in a negative direction. It takes no effort for things to go from bad to worse. It takes absolutely no effort. So I think it's very important that we focus our intentions, we set our goals, and we make sure that the person we are becoming is taking these little baby steps or large leaps to becoming better versus taking baby steps or large leaps backwards. I'm going through a little bit of growing pains myself, starting this YouTube channel, starting a new blog, and it's really a lot of work, but I feel like I can rise to the challenge and master this like I've mastered every other new challenge that has been thrown my way. I am not going to let it intimidate me. I'm going to take every step I need to be successful. And I feel like that's the attitude we have to have in our lives when we go to work, when we go to school. A lot of it is challenging. Sometimes we are working while we're in school. Sometimes you might be like me and be going to school and working 2 jobs. That was my situation. And it's very challenging. It's very stressful. It can even be depressing at times. But once I finished school, I was then able to support myself with just 1 job. So it was worth it. That crunch time, it was temporary. And I feel like that's another key component. We have to always focus on the way out of our situation. Sometimes we find ourselves in situations that are hard to manage. They are hard to balance things out. You are out of balance when you're working 2 jobs and going to school. You are completely out of balance. But if you set a goal for that to be a temporary thing, you're not just going to school for something that's not going to land you a job. You're going to school for something that's going to guarantee you can support yourself with 1 income. And that's another key component. We have to be intentional with our direction, with our decisions. We can't just go out here and make moves that are liabilities. Some of these degrees are liabilities. You're just racking up debt. It's not making you any closer to your goals, your financial goals, and it's not going to help you get a job. That goes back to being honest with yourself. Sit down and do your research before you go to these schools. Some of them are fly-by-nights and they close down without even giving you a degree. They make a mockery of your hard work, and they're just a sham. These are sham schools out here. Some schools are legit, and it's the degree itself that is a sham that they're offering you. Just because you're going to a legit school does not mean that you're getting a legit degree. That degree can be a liability if you are not able to go out and support yourself with that degree. If you're still working 2 or even 3 jobs with this degree just to support yourself, that might not be a degree you want to pursue. So go out there, talk to people who have that same degree, network. We have social media. I talked about getting distracted on social media yesterday, and I feel like a lot of people use social media wrong. Use it to network with people who have this degree that you are intending to go to school for and see what they are living like. Are they able to support themselves? Are they able to support a family with that degree? These are key questions you need to be finding out before you pursue that degree, because that degree will then be a liability. Now you're working 2 jobs, you're going to school for a liability, and the crunch time never ends. When you finish school, you go from working 2 jobs to working 3 jobs, or you continue to work 2 jobs after you finish school, because you did not go to school to get a degree to advance yourself. You went to school and you got a degree that was a liability. So now you have all this debt and everything is piling on to you. All the stress is piling on. You're having to take out even more loans. You're having to rack up credit card debt. You have the student loans, which thank God right now they are paused. But I feel like that is a thing we need to sit down and be real with ourselves when we're signing up for these schools, signing up for a higher education. Sometimes it just isn't worth it. I myself do not have a degree. I went to trade school, and it allowed me to be able to support myself. I have peers who did go to school and get their degrees. I have peers that I actually went to school with them in college, and they're not able to support themselves with those degrees that they got from the same college that I dropped out of. So it's a sad situation, and a lot of times we don't realize how bad of a situation we're in until it's too late. Sometimes we don't want to admit that we made a mistake, but it's okay. Everyone makes mistakes. You pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, and you reevaluate. Okay, so what? You got a degree and it's not getting you where you need to be within the job market. There are classes you can take online. There are classes you can take in a trade school that can drastically improve your chances of earning income. And some of them are 6 months to a year. Sometimes you need to reevaluate and make a career change. Yeah, you spent these years getting this degree, but sometimes you just have to let go. If it is not showing you the results and the income that you deserve, sometimes you need to let go and pursue something else. There are skills you can learn in these online schools, such as real estate schools and insurance schools. A lot of these things are 6 months to a year. They are self-paced in some cases. You can take a truck driving school. There are so many opportunities out there that can drastically turn your income situation around. So don't feel stuck just because you can't find a job that's paying you any money. You can always reevaluate. You can always go in another direction. Never feel like you're stuck. Do your research. Always be constantly doing research. If you're going to spend your time out there in a 9 to 5 or working 2 jobs, I feel like it's worth it to take some time, do some research on the job market, and find out who's paying and what education programs you can get through super quick within 6 months to a year and turn your whole career around or shift to a whole new career. There's nothing wrong with that. And I feel like a lot of people are scared. They work so hard in a certain field and they work so hard at a certain degree and they want to stay within those perimeters, but they can be so limiting sometimes. They can be extremely limiting. And I want you all to realize that that is never the case. You never have to stay in a situation that you don't want to be in. You never have to stay in a situation that's draining you or in a situation that is not paying off for the efforts that you're putting in. You can always leave. You can always find something else, and you can always find something better. I think a lot of times we don't believe we can find better. But that is a myth. That's something this job market wants you to believe. These employers want you to believe. But there's always better out there. There's always a way out. And you have to always keep sight of that. You have to always keep that in mind. There's always a way out. There's always something better. There's always a job that's going to pay you more money for the job that you're doing right now. There's always a job that's going to pay you for a skill that you have that you may not even realize you have. And you're able to make more money than what you are making right now. There is always better. And I'm going to leave you guys today. Please like and subscribe, comment, say down in the comments, there's always something better. Because I want you to keep that in mind. I want you to hold tight to that. Because these employers, these schools, some of your friends and family who are jealous and hating, they don't want you to realize that there's better out there, and there's always better. Don't lose sight of that. Okay, guys, Maddie Hugh out. Bye.